Shalom to you, like giving all praise and honor glory to Yahweh Shem Al Shai, Bashem Chakodashin, giving double honors to the other apostles and other bishops of Great Millstone. Well, peace and salutation to elect, and we have it here, and some of the breaking news that's currently underway, and you have various riots that are erupting at a LA or Los Angeles, which is what the city of angels out there in California. Facility as ICE facility or Immigration Customs Enforcement facility, as the Mexican, as they're coining it, Mexican BLM clone unleashes color revolution operation. So I don't really know what this is, but I've never seen this before, but they have it where somebody looked like they put a post up, right? It's up on Twitter.
I'm Giovanna Lotto. You're taking a live look at one of the protests underway in Los Angeles just a few hours after the mass immigration raids. Chris Christie is live in Air 7 with the latest. Chris.
That's right, Giovanna. It's a major protest going on about 2 hours now. Close to 1,000 people now wrapping around the detention facility between Alameda and Los Angeles Street. They started on the front steps of the federal building at 300 Los Angeles, now marching down Aliso. In the lead there is that cattle truck leading the pack as they make the turn onto Alameda Street. The strategy here is to basically encircle the detention facility, which is that building right there, where we understand there are actually some people inside of the building.
So you can see, what's going on, and this particular Twitter page, Diligent Denizen, said that the rioters and protesters had completely surrounded the federal ICE facility in LA, California, and then they said that the Democrats are trying to initiate another George Floyd riot scenario, and the American people nor Trump will stand for it. So we have that left-right paradigm going on, okay, with this going on right now, and this is hit something heavy too. Look, check this out. So as you can see, you got destruction on U.S. government property going on, man. And and this has been ramping up. I'll play more off of Anthony Cabasa, political, or it's like a page off of Twitter. Fair use warning is for educational purposes and journalism only. It seems like DHS, or Department of Homeland Security Police, continue to shoot less than lethal tear gas pellets into a crowd to disperse. Items are thrown in all directions and such. You have here that also protesters are now taking hammers to cinder blocks to break them down and use them against the Department of Homeland Security Police. Again, destroying these federal properties. So whether this is control opposition or not, agent provocateurs, and we have various prophecies that's going on, with the upwards of the people in the earth, and things are just ramping up, and more. We definitely know that we're in the times of the Lord's second coming, very, very, very soon. So, we ought to, of course, as the scriptures say, to measure thou the time diligently in itself, right? This is 2nd Esdras 9:1. He answered me then and said, measure thou the time diligently in itself, and when thou seest part of the signs pass, which I have told thee before, these are various tokens and omens, all right, of the Lord's second coming, then shalt thou understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. Therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and upwards of people in the world, this is a major upward of people in the world. Like these people have enraged, the government is so heavy, and also it's put that this is another article here off of KCAL News. It says National Guard arrives in Los Angeles after tense protests over the various ICE enforcement, which is being, of course, sent down from an executive order from Donald Trump. Okay, your emperor, your chief commander.
Our breaking news this morning, 2,000 National Guard troops that President Trump ordered to L.A. have now arrived in downtown this morning.
The president ordered them after a second day of violent clashes between immigration protesters and ICE agents. KCAL News reporter Elise Martinez live downtown with new information about the Guard. We can see them behind you. How are things looking this morning, Elise?
Good morning to you both. It's a lot calmer here than what was going on last night, but the remnants of last night still here, especially in the air. Every once in a while you get a whiff of tear gas and you start to cough and your eyes start to water. So I do apologize if that happens while I'm speaking, but I will get through it. But I do want to show you what's going on behind me. There they are, the National Guard, the Trump administration making good on its promise to send 2,000 National Guard troops into LA after a second day of protests
and you have to get used to this. Like, you don't see, a lot of these are going to be Edomites, and look like guys of other nationalities possibly. You could have Israelites in there, but these are ones of this actual nation, the Americas, that's actually in the military. Okay, the National Guard. Okay, and they're in your city, so all that we prophesied to happen is happening, and it's gonna hit to where we got all literally hell broke completely loose, and there's complete disorder, and these cities are covered with militarized police and army, UN troops, various militarized troops, supervising these cities. Okay, and if anybody don't believe in these scriptures, they should more so in these times. Okay, so it tells you in the book of 2nd Esdras, chapter 15, and verse 14, it says, woe to the world and them that dwell therein, for the sword and their destruction draw nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another with swords in their hands. And you've seen that, and people raising up, they're against the current administration, or against what's going down with their fellow family members that have been impacted by ICE, and maybe they, have opinions that are basically pro-human. Okay, but the administration is showing how they are against, you, if you are from a certain country or origin. Okay, and that your status, whether even if you are a citizen legally, and your state really isn't wanted. Okay, because you have people that actually are profiled as being illegals, but actually are legal permanent residents, have green cards, and visa status in this country, but get caught up in these different ICE sweeps. All right, for there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes. In the course of their actions shall stand in their power. A man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. All right, for because of their pride the city shall be troubled, and the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. So this is more so coming out to be the picture and what we all prophesy for, but it's going to be more worse than what you see before, because you're going to see much bloodshed and just straight up all out calamity here. So
clashes with federal agents during immigration raids that started on.
These guys are suited and booted, pounds and pounds of actual equipment on their backs, ready, masked up.
Friday, there they are. There were several of their armored vehicles lined up. Those have
machine guns
left, but the remaining ones are still here, at least half a dozen, and you can see the National Guards, men and women, standing there in the parking lot in front of this federal building where those protests took place. You can see all the graffiti on the building. You can see the remnants from the protests last night. We do have some new video of the National Guard rolling into downtown LA just before 4 a.m. this morning. They're reported to have been at two locations, at least City Hall and the federal building here, and we believe they're moving throughout the city and to areas that experienced unrest during those raids. Now, the move marks a major escalation in Trump's crackdown on illegal immigration. Mayor Karen Bass and Governor Gavin Newsom both speaking out, saying this is unnecessary and will only escalate tensions. Newsom also saying local law enforcement is already mobilized, and there is no need for this extra support. Now, tensions flared in downtown Los Angeles last night as a group of protesters gathered outside a federal detention facility. Videos showing flashbang grenades and tear gas being deployed by law enforcement soon after the protests. Police declaring an unlawful assembly, and around 10 p.m., half a dozen protesters were being detained by officers. We're still trying to get numbers on how many people were detained and or arrested.
Yeah, what y'all don't understand is that, or many don't understand, is that, you're seen as a criminal, that your right to protest is no more, because this administration justifies its actions, all right, and depending their lands and borders from what they call foreign terrorists, which are the tribes, okay, certain tribes, Latin tribes, at this time, but anybody, okay, so we just gonna keep seeing things ramp up with these clashes, and prophecy is at hand, so get your house in order. Shalom to the elect.